Hi, my name is Ray Xiao and I'm your BSL commissioner. I'd like to take a minute to walk you through the 2015 BSL schedule. In response to a lot of the complaints and comments that were received on the survey, we worked really hard in trying to respond to those. I'd like to take a minute to thank Manny Rebello, Kevin Collins, and Paul Gagnon for the work they put into creating the schedule. Some of the comments on the survey were that there wasn't enough interdivisional mingling. So when you go to the field, you play your games and you leave, and there's not a lot of opportunities to see other teams from other divisions. Another complaint was that there were a lot of open fields, which made it seem like we weren't utilizing our resources efficiently, and that may have made the season last longer than it had to. So to address these concerns, we couldn't simply put this all into a computer program and have it spit out what we need. It took these guys a lot of hard work. So let me take a minute to walk you through the things that they did. Here's a sample schedule. As you can see, the red cells are the ones that are currently being used with game times. What we did in order to address all of your concerns is we are starting to use the 9 a.m. and the 5 p.m. slots. And I know that means we might have to start a little earlier or end a little later, but that'll help address trying to end the season a little bit earlier and using as much of the resources we can. The other thing we did is we are using the open slots that were used as rainouts last year. So now we have a fully packed schedule from the beginning of the season. So let's take a look at the schedule a different way. The orange cells are going to be your team's games. Some of the things we tried to address was if you had requested a day off, we had to make sure that you didn't have a game on that particular day. The other thing is we tried to make sure that you had 2 games in one day as opposed to just 1 game. And if you were to have 1 game in a day because we couldn't get around it, we tried to move that to an earlier time so that you could have the rest of the afternoon to yourself. The other thing that we tried to address was some folks felt that they were only playing on 1 field the whole season. So we tried to break that out and make sure you have games on field 1, field 2, and field 3. What we tried to do is incorporate some interdivisional mingling to ensure that there was another game in between your 2 games from a different division so you can see some other people from other teams. We made sure that you didn't have more than a 1-game break so that you didn't have to sit around all day for your games. The other thing we did was ensure that there was an even spread across game time so that you're not always playing at 9 a.m. or you're not always playing at 5 p.m. and that it's spread across all the teams in all divisions. So now let's take a look at the 2015 season overall. You can see April 18th is going to be our opening day. Knock on wood that the snow will melt and we'll get to start on time. May 10th is going to be Mother's Day, so we will not have games on Mother's Day. May 23rd, 24th, and 25th is Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of teams like to go traveling for tournaments, so we were not going to have games on that weekend. May 30th and 31st, this is going to be saved for rainouts for all divisions, so all divisions should be aware that they may have games on this day. Now, considering the weather that we're expected to have or have been having, it's most likely that we're going to have rain out games on this day for all teams. So please be prepared. June 8th is the All-Star game. So on a Monday night on the Commons, should be a fun night. June 13th and the 14th is Pride weekend, and because of the comments that we received last year, we're not going to have games on that weekend. June 20th and the 21st is a World Series qualifying tournament. So for the teams that want to qualify for the World Series from Boston, we are holding game slots open in case we need to have a tournament because we can only send 2 to 3 teams per division. June 27th and 28th are also saved for rainouts. July 4th and 5th is Independence weekend, and so we saved the fields for the Minuteman Classic tournament. For more information on that, go to the website listed here. Next, July 11th and 12th, we are saving this weekend for playoffs. So one of the changes that we made to the playoffs this year is it's going to be 1 day for your division instead of spreading it over Saturday and Sunday. Each division will have a slightly different tournament structure. For more information, contact Kevin Collins or your coach. And then lastly, July 18th and July 19th, we're saving this weekend in case the playoffs get rained out. So one of the things that everyone needs to be aware is that although the playoffs are currently scheduled for July 11th and 12th, if we actually have good weather and we don't utilize the rainout day of June 27th and 28th, we are going to be moving the playoffs to that weekend. So consider the 27th and 28th playing days again for everybody in all divisions. So if we are able to move these dates around as such, we will be able to end the season before July 4th. As you can see, a lot of work went into creating the schedule to accommodate the comments that we received on the survey. I look forward to seeing everybody on the fields.